Okay, we're talking about the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. It's in April 26th. I'm so excited to be talking there, but there are some really, really brilliant people. And I'm speaking here to Louise Baker, neuroscientist, and I love this neuroscience. She really brings it into the real world. People come out with a lot of science. Louise brings it into the real world with real issues that people are facing. So, Louise, welcome. What is the I
Thank
didn't
you.
actually, I didn't understand the title you're talking. What is the title of your talk?
Oh God, the title of my talk is something along the lines of Scanxiety and managing your world through surveillance, the process of surveillance.
Yeah, I don't know what any of that
No,
means.
I think I could. I think that obviously I might be a neuroscientist, but not great at marketing. So listen, over 10 years ago,
Mm.
no, it's longer than that, 12 years ago, I started working with a brain tumor charity called Brains Trust. And at that point, I started to work with individuals a point along every part of their journey from being diagnosed with a brain tumor through to the goodbyes when people turn
Mm, mm,
and say goodbye to
mm,
the group as well. So I work with individuals and groups on their cancer journey. And what that means in terms of hypnosis and hypnotherapy is it brings all of our skills together, whether we're dealing with acute anxiety, whether we're dealing with an operation that's coming up, we're dealing with nausea for chemotherapy, or as I have started to counsel it now, we're talking about while I wait. Now, this is a really, really, really powerful concept. And you know what, Anne? It's not just about while I wait for the phone to ring, for the appointment to be made to die, to
yeah,
have an operation.
yeah.
It's about how do I understand why I get so overwhelmed when I'm waiting for something to happen. And we've all got the experience. We were waiting for our exam results as busy teenagers, but we had the summer. We had the summer to mess around in. The life was novel. Life was interesting. Life was had a different form of predictability, programmed by our hormones. As we age, we change. As we age, we change. And remembering that two out of four of us is going to get a cancer diagnosis at some point in our life. So for yourself, for your loved ones, for those with cancer, for your clients, come
Mm.
to this presentation.
I love what you're saying about weight because nobody says that. And a relative of mine had an operation just before Christmas, but his life was on hold for 2 years because it affected, he couldn't go out. So 2 years. And it was due 3 months earlier. And the night before, the phone call comes and it's like, sorry, it's cancelled. No explanation, nothing. It's cancelled. You built yourself up. You've waited all that time. And I know with my eyes, I kind of waited so long to get this eye operation and got there. And for some reason, the surgeon was, I don't know, he was off his bunts. He was acting erratic. He just said he was worried about doing it. So I had to walk out. I walked out. And you walk out of there and that level of being deflated, you've waited all that time, but everything's on hold in your life. You can't plan to go to somebody's wedding, or you can't book a holiday, or go to you can't do anything. Your life on hold while you wait. Nobody ever mentions that bit. It's a torture. Every day
Well,
is a torture.
and this is where the brain is not our friend, because
Mm,
this is where the neuroscience comes in. What we know is that the brain is a predictive machine. It will do what it's always done
yeah.
until it understands what you want to do differently. And that's not a concept that's alien to hypnotists. We live and breathe that, but the rest of the world doesn't. And
Mm,
if you as an individual don't live it and breathe it as well, and find yourself catching yourself in those aha moments, I'm doing what I've always done here, then in fact the work we've done together, the work
mm,
I've done with you in terms of understanding, future pacing and future vivification, this is about informing the brain that
mm.
that you want a different outcome, that you want to change.
Yeah.
So all of those things we know about how to change habits, they become even more profound. But of course, they have to be handled in a very different way, because it's not just all about making a decision about what you want to think or feel, because
Mm.
because it's so complex when you have a cancer diagnosis, and because it changes, and because the brain is constantly being flooded with noradrenaline.
And do you know, it's also the families, the people around. I often find that the patient is better than everybody else. And a friend of mine has had somebody long-term ill around her, really desperately ill. And it's like if she has goes out for dinner one evening, there's all the guilt that I'm going out, I'm having a semblance of normality. I've gone to listen. But when something's gone on for months and months and months, everybody else's life's on hold.
But this is where the skills are so important, and
Yeah,
in really focusing in for people.
yeah.
No, this isn't a dress rehearsal. I know we have lots of people out there with different spiritual beliefs,
Mm.
but this world, this moment, this time, this canister I live in during this period of time is the only one I've got. And it's the only one that my family have too.
Mm.
Therefore, we all owe it to ourselves to
Mm.
understand how our brains work and how we get the best out of every single moment that we have together.
I love that. I really, I mean, obviously, I'll be there for your talk, but do you know, one of my clients, she had somebody desperately ill at home for months and months and months. And she said one of the hardest parts is all these people come in to deal with my very sick relative. She said, nobody ever speaks to me. I'm in my home. I'm completely ignored. 3 times a day, people come in, deal with the very sick relative. She said, no, I'm just in this house. And they just kind of look at me and walk past me. She said, it's like, I feel like I'm invisible. And that went on for a very long time, very,
Yeah.
very long time. It's so uh, um, I'm really looking forward to this because I think it's something we don't talk about. What are the takeaways for anybody coming to your talk?
Well, during the talk, I will be talking about the power of touch and the
Mm,
neuroscience of touch. And I will be introducing from the world of psychosensory touch. And I know that Stephen is chatting at the conference as well about hypnohavenings.
yeah,
I've been doing hypnohavening for again about 14 years now,
yeah,
but I now refer to it as psychosensory touch. Uh,
mm,
because for a lot of reasons, because I integrate bilateral stimulation into it
mm,
and explain to people how bringing themselves from the state of overwhelm to a place they can get themselves back online
yeah,
so they can decide what they want to do and not be driven in a predictive way by a body full of too many busy neurotransmitters. And by that, I mean too much neuro stuff going on. So
yeah.
how do we bring ourselves back to the baseline, and why is touch so good at doing that? So if you want to build on your skills as a havener, if you want to build on your understanding as a hypnotherapist, if you just want to be a person
Yeah.
understanding how you deal with this stuff more effectively, come along to my talk and we'll go through all of that.
I'm looking forward to it. It's very needed. So thank you. I'm looking forward to this. We will talk again soon, but this is fabulous. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for inviting me to talk with you.